Okay, so this video we're going to talk about carbohydrates. In the last video, we talked about proteins and how they do all kinds of things, serve all kinds of purposes in the cell and in the body. Well, to do all of that work, they need energy. And carbohydrates serve as our primary energy source. They have a few other roles too, but this is the main one. Now, the carbohydrate that's most important for our bodies is glucose. This is a monosaccharide. Glucose gets brought into the cell and is either converted, the energy in glucose is converted to ATP, which is sort of like cash that you can use to spend to get work done. Or if a cell has more than enough ATP, that glucose can be put together, synthesized into glycogen, which is a polysaccharide or a polymer of glucose molecules. If we have enough glycogen, there are cells in our body that can even convert that energy into lipids or fat. So, energy, depending on whether we need it right away or whether we're storing it for later, can be transferred from one molecule to another. Okay, now when we have excess energy, we form polymers to store it. So here are two glucose molecules. You can see that the hydroxyl groups are next to each other. And just like we saw when we were talking about dehydration synthesis, which is what this is, we remove the H and the OH to form water. And now these two glucose molecules are connected to form a disaccharide through this bond. Now, there are a number of disaccharides that we see frequently. Sucrose, which is table sugar, is a glucose molecule that is bonded together with a fructose molecule. Fructose comes from fruit and is actually what gives sucrose its sweet taste. Glucose is not all that sweet. Lactose, or milk sugar, is a glucose with a galactose monomer. And maltose is two glucose monomers together. So these are common disaccharides. Now, if we want to make a larger molecule, a polymer, a polysaccharide, this is usually done just with glucose molecules. And depending on how they connect, we either form glycogen, which is the polysaccharide that animals make to store energy, or plants will put those molecules together to make starch, which you find in like potatoes, or cellulose, which forms the cell wall that gives the plants the rigid structure, cell structure that they have. Now, when we eat those, animals are capable, or humans anyway, are capable of digesting starch, but we are not capable of digesting cellulose. So we don't have the enzymes to break the glucose molecules apart for that polysaccharide.